हेलो एवरीवन, मैंने आप लोगों को बोला था कि उस दिन मनीष नायडू के साथ मेरा कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रहा था रिलेटेड टू लिफ्ट्स एंड एलिवेटर्स। ड्यू टू टेक्निकल ग्लिच हमारा बीच का कांटेक्ट टूट गया था। उस कारण हमारा जो चैप्टर 1 का पार्ट 1 था मैंने उसको आपको दिया था, मैं आज आपको पार्ट 2 दे रहा हूँ। ड्यू टू टेक्निकलिटीज जैसे कि एलिवेटर्स एंड लिफ्ट की कुछ ऐसी टर्मिनोलॉजीज होती है जो इंग्लिश में होती है, सो वी वुड कंसीडर दिस पर्टिकुलर इंटरव्यू इनटू एन इंग्लिश फॉर्मेट. So I request everyone to listen very carefully. If you have any queries, we'll also flash some of the PDFs or some of the photographs, or you may call it as pics, which you can read later on in the end of the video. So Mr. Manish, we will continue with the elevators and lift. First question of mine is that what is exactly the definition of elevators as per you?
Hi everyone. So here is Manish again. So elevators is something which elevates. So any object which needs to be lifted from a ground floor level or a certain level to a higher up level, that is known as an elevator.
Mr. Manish, I would like to ask you just as we have learned in physics that acceleration due to gravity is small g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. We have also learned about the retardation. This retardation means the impact of g will be minus 9.8 meter per second square if it's go high above the ground level, if I'm correct, as per my knowledge.
So what happens in elevator system? So there is one. It's just like you have seen a balance, correct? In which earlier on there was a weight balance in which one side you put weight, other side you put some object to be measured. Okay, suppose it is 1 kg or 1.5 kgs, 2 kgs, correct? You have seen that weight measure. So like that the lift operates. So one side there is one object which is known as counterweight, and the weight is there in the lift cabin where you travel up and down. So that is known as the lift car, and there is a motor at the top. So it is the fundamentals of this is based upon the pulleys, the reaction load. If the weight of the counterweight is more, suppose one person is there in the lift and the lift is for 6 passengers and one person wants to go up, so the weight of the counterweight which is at the top is more, correct?
Right.
So the weight due to gravity, the gravity will pull it downwards. The person who is inside the cable will go up. So in this the motor power is not being utilized. Okay, and this will come down via the force of gravity. So this is one. Second is like if it is 8-passenger car and all the 8 passengers are there, so the lift is completely full. So in that case, the lift is going from ground to up. The weight of the counterweight is not sufficient enough to lift. Then the motor will come into action, and the lift, the car will go up. Okay, so this is the main fundamentals of how lifts work.
We have also seen that, like example of Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa is a huge and high altitude building. The lifts which we work, or I have seen as per my knowledge, I don't know exactly because you are the expert for this particular field. What is the difference between a normal elevator and a high speed elevator?
Okay, so normal elevator, what you find in India is basically, maximum times 99% of the times, whatever elevator you have traveled would be 1 meter per second.
Okay.
Or 60 meters per minute. So this is the standard speed of the elevator, which you will find in a building of around 8 to 10 floors. If you go up from 15 and 20 floors, the speed would be 1.75 or 2 meter per second. If you go above a building of height like 40 floors and above, the lift speed would be greater than 3 meter per second. And the fastest elevator in India is in Mumbai, so it travels at 6 meter per second. So this is the fastest in India, which travels at 6 meter per second.
So what exactly is that in a high-speed elevator, is there any difference of the motor which has been installed on the upside, on the uppest level, on the topmost level of the building, which actually elevates? is there any difference between the normal motors which we are using in India, or is it is there is a difference between high speed motors, or it's a kind of combination motors of many?
Yeah, correct. So this is permanent magnet gearless motor.
Mhm.
So all these lifts are nowadays having a gearless motor.
Mhm.
So what happens? Obviously, there is a power saving in gearless. There is little lesser part as compared to a geared machine,
Mhm.
and the efficiency of these machines are very high. So nowadays, high-speed elevator uses gearless machine first.
Mhm.
Second, the kind of the brake liners or brake shoes you call us, like these are roller kind of things. Earlier, with 1 MPS or 1.5 MPS, there is a sliding guides which are there.
Okay.
For high speed, it is a rolling guides.
Mhm.
So these are the few basic difference, and there is a pumping action also for that. Certain arrangements are made because you can consider a high speed, 5 or 6 MPS lift coming down. So obviously there will be a little bit of air which will be pushed in the shaft.
Mhm.
So to get this air away, there is certain holes and everything is provided as per the design, so that there is no back pressure. So all these things are considered while designing a high speed elevator.
My next question is that the amount of atmospheric pressure, as we know that one atmospheric pressure acts on a human body, and everything on this earth is actually governed by one atmospheric pressure. That's a basic principle and basic rule. In elevators, high-speed elevators, when we go upside, when we go into an elevation more than 40 or 50 floors or 50 or 60 stories, or let's take an example of Burj Khalifa. I'll take an example of the highest building. So if I take the highest level of building, is there any impact related to our blood circulation or impact related to the car which is actually in which we are traveling, or the atmospheric pressure? Is there any difference or is it the same?
No, definitely there is a pressure. Like if if you are traveling with 2 MPS speed also, like you will feel, there is a huge lot of difference.
Mhm.
So what happens? There is a limitation. The upper limit is also, we have to reach. We cannot travel more than that. So the right now, the fastest elevator in the world is having 22.5 meter per second.
Okay.
So, above that, like there can be, incidences of, some, G-force acting or something like that. So, definitely, not more than that speed is required. So, in Burj Khalifa also, like there is no single elevator which travels from bottom to top. There is a intermediate stop.
Okay. So there is not a single lift which travels actually from ground floor to the top floor. There is
Yes,
an
in the
intermediate
Burj
step
Khalifa
between
building,
each lift.
there is not one lift.
Okay.
It goes to a certain level, and if you if you want to go to the top, there is another elevator which you have to catch.
What do you believe that what will be the air resistance in high speed elevators? Is it more or less?
See, the lift operate in a closed duct.
Okay.
So what happens if we are pulling? So a cabin up at a speed of around 20 meter per second, 10 meter per second.
Mhm.
So there is a counterbalance also, like which needs to be there. So there are some counterbalance chains also being provided.
Mhm.
There is a pumping action which is there. So this all design aspect are done while designing the elevator. And simply you cannot design and get it installed in a building. There are like different stages while designing an elevator. So all these things are checked with this computer flow dynamics,
Mhm.
which is people should know this. This is software.
Mhm.
So it measures the air resistance, the vortex, how it is forming.
Mhm.
Everything will be checked. After that, the design team makes certain arrangements to
Mhm.
counter all these things and to make the elevator sturdy.
One more question, last question from my side, then you can explain the types of elevators and we'll end the interview because you'll be having busy schedules. As you have given me the time, that's much more honorable.
No worries, sir. Anything for you, sir.
Sorry. First of all, last thing is that I have observed that there is a rectangular shape lift as well as there is a capsule shape lift. It has been said that capsule shape lift, due to its aerodynamism, it travels faster with using a normal weight balance, or what you call as normal motor speed. Is it true or is it just a myth?
It's a myth. The capsule elevators are only panoramic elevators, in which, why you go to a capsule elevator, you wanted to see the panoramic view from inside the elevator, maybe of the building, of the scenery, or if you are in the mall, or if you are in a hotel. So you want to see the city lights and something like that. So the panoramic views is possible with the lifts, and they generally do not travel at a higher speed, because the person who is inside wants to watch that view. So they are designed in such a way, like their speeds are limited, and their height is also limited. It cannot travel to 10 feet per second, or maybe more speeds. So it's a basic, maximum it can travel 3 to 4 meters per second, but that also is not required.
So at the last, I would ask you to just elaborate the types of lifts, the types of technologies latest which we are using, because in India we have seen V3, V8, V2 types of lifts. We haven't seen, or we haven't gone into the research related to the lifts which are much more dynamic, much more technologically advanced. I would say use of much more artificial intelligence rather than human intelligence. There's no point that humans have always constructed various things. Humans have constructed the computers, the elevators, everything. But the end point is that whenever we go for an higher algorithm, we always rely on artificial intelligence. So just tell me about the relation to artificial intelligence and also the types of lifts, and then we can end this interview.
Correct. So now, in 2023, all the major multinational companies like Otis, Kone, Johnson, Schindler, Mitsubishi, they have come with a superior controller. Now these controller are capable enough to communicate what is wrong with the machine, and directly they will have the communication to the supervisor or the service engineer. They will send the feedback directly with an error code. What is the problem? Now the service engineer will get exactly what is required, what parts has failed. So while coming to the site, they will carry the spare parts with them. So these is done by are communicating directly with the service team, and to bring down the the callbacks also. So this is the latest in the elevators. Just to give you some facts about elevators. So the world fastest elevator is in Shanghai Towers. So that runs in 22.5 meter per second. That is installed by Mitsubishi. Second, the world largest elevator, and sir will share you the pictures. It is in India. It's in Geo Center. It's the world largest elevator, and after seeing the picture, you will not realize if it is it's a big room of glass or a lift. So that is in Geo Center in Mumbai. So that is done by Kone. And the only spiral escalator, which is not there in India. This is very costly, and this is in Las Vegas. So this is done by Mitsubishi Elevators. This is the only one company who manufactures the spiral escalators in the world. Nobody has this technical know-how, like how to manufacture that kind of escalators. And now the latest thing, what is going on, if you have seen, certainly like major IT players like Cognizant or TCS, like they have huge buildings. So they have huge employees, and the influx of the employees comes when at the peak hours, which is around 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 to 10. At the time, maximum employees get inside the building into log in into their accounts, and in the lunch they all exit at the same time, and in the evening they all go out. So what happens? There is a long line to use elevators. So now what has done? There is a destination dispatch system. So while walking to the towards the elevator, you only have to press your number of floors wherever you wanted to go. So the lift lobby will have 8 to 10 elevators. So this will give you the number of the name of the elevator which you have to go, like A, B, C, D, E, and D, H, I. Like this, the elevator will be named, and you will be assigned a particular elevator. So you do not have to, just stand and wait and which elevator is coming. You only have to go and stand in front where whatever is your nominated elevators. So this, bring down the waiting time. So these are the few advancements in the elevator industry. I am hopeful that once you are there in, certain big buildings, you will always obviously notice these things. whenever you are having a high speed elevator, whenever you are using a destination dispatch system, whenever you're seeing a double decker, something like that.
Okay. Now the surprise element comes, Mr. Manish, and
Okay.
सरप्राइज एलिमेंट हिंदी में कर देते हैं क्योंकि सबको समझ में आएगा। मनीष,
जी
आप इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में थे और जहां तक हम जानते हैं कि हम दोनों एक ही साथ एक ही हॉस्टल में रहे हैं बचपन से। हम मतलब साथ में ही पढ़े हैं, साथ में ही कॉलेज जाते थे। नो डाउट मेरा कॉलेज थोड़ा अलग था, आपका अलग था, मगर आप मेरे को ड्रॉप कर देते थे। कभी मैं आपके कॉलेज आता था, कभी आप मेरे कॉलेज आते थे। नाउ मेरा एक बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, आप मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में थे बॉस, मैंने ये सुना है कि इंजीनियरिंग में मतलब लाइफ इंजीनियर्स की मतलब उतनी मतलब वो नहीं रहती है, व्हाट यू से, एक्साइटिंग नहीं रहती है। इज इट ट्रू?
इंजीनियर की लाइफ बहुत एक्साइटेड रहती है। आप किसी भी मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट से पूछ लीजिए जिसके 90% और 80% मार्क्स नहीं आते, तो ऑब्वियसली आपकी लाइफ बहुत एक्साइटेड होती है।
अच्छा, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ, जैसे अभी मैं आपकी मिसेस को जानता हूँ, ऑब्वियसली वो तो हमारे फैमिली मेंबर जैसे। आपको कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि आपको किसी मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग लड़की के साथ बातचीत करनी चाहिए थी?
सर, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में लड़कियां नहीं होती है।
मैं तो देखा था आपकी क्लास में थी 7-8 लड़कियां बैठी हुई थी।
वो रेयरेस्ट रेयर होते।
नहीं तो सर, मैंने सुना है ना कि जेम्स आर ऑलवेज रेयर। वैसे वैसे नो हार्ड फैक्ट्स। अगले जन्म में आप बायोकेमिस्ट बनिएगा मेरे जैसा, मैं इंजीनियर बन जाऊंगा। आई कैन हैंडल, मतलब रेगिस्तान में भी मैं मतलब जी लूंगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। आप
और सर, आई गेस आपके व्यूअर्स को आपके बारे में पता ही होगा।
नहीं, मेरे व्यूअर्स मेरे बारे में कुछ नहीं जानते हैं। मेरे मेरे व्यूअर्स मैं मेरे व्यूअर्स के लिए एक अनसुलझी पहेली हूँ जो आज तक से वो लोग समझ नहीं पाए हैं। मैं मैं उनके लिए हंसी मजाक भी हूँ, मैं उनके लिए सीरियस मैटर भी हूँ, मैं उनके लिए गुस्सैला इंसान भी हूँ, मैं उनका मददगार भी हूँ, मैं उनका दुख सुख भी शेयर करता। बट रियलिस्टिक में कभी कभी मुझे भी समझ नहीं आता एक्चुअल में मैं क्या हूँ। तब फिर याद आता मैं तो सिर्फ एक टीचर हूँ। सो वेल मनीष, आपसे बात करके अच्छा लगा। बचपन से हम लोग साथ में रहे हैं, मैं इसके लिए आपको थैंक्स बोलूंगा। हम लोग ब्रदर्स भी है और शायद ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है जो हम एक दूसरे की नहीं जानते हैं। नॉलेज वाइज भी बोलिए, पर्सनल लाइफ भी बोलिए। आई विश यू अ वेरी गुड एंड ग्रैंड सक्सेस वट एवर यू आर डूइंग इन लाइफ। और मैं यही बोलूंगा कि जितना नॉलेज आपके पास है, यही नॉलेज को आप आगे आने वाली जनरेशन, आगे आने वाला जो आपका स्टाफ है, जो कलीग्स हैं, जो न्यू ट्रेनीज आएंगे, उनको आप जरूर ट्रांसफर कीजिए। और अगर हो सके तो हम लोग सब मिलकर आने वाली जो जनरेशन है उसे अच्छा तैयार करें, क्योंकि पुरानी जनरेशन तो तैयार नहीं हो पाई थी, मगर आने वाली जनरेशन अच्छी तैयार होनी चाहिए। दे शुड बी फ्रूटफुल, मतलब उनका पॉकेट फुल रहना चाहिए, उनका लाइफस्टाइल होना चाहिए। उन्हें कभी किसी से, मेरी एक इच्छा है मनीष, मैं ये चाहता हूं कि कोई भी इंसान कभी किसी से लोन ही ना मांगे, बैंक में जाके कभी लोन ही ना मांगे। वो इतने
जी
सेल्फ रिलायंट हो जाए, इतना खुश रहे वो अपनी सैलरी में कि उसे कभी लोन लेने की जरूरत ही ना पड़े। तो उसके लिए स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ाना है तो उसकी अर्निंग बढ़ानी है तो उसे एजुकेशन करनी है। तो लास्ट
सर।
ये बता दीजिए कि जैसे मैथमेटिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है इंजीनियरिंग के लिए, अगर मैं गलत नहीं बोल रहा हूँ तो मैथमेटिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आपके हिसाब से 12th स्टैंडर्ड में ऐसे कौन से चैप्टर्स पे बच्चों को ज्यादा फोकस करना चाहिए जो उनको इंजीनियरिंग में, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में जाए, मैकेनिकल में जाए, किसी भी इंजीनियरिंग में जाए, उनको सपोर्ट करे और उनको इजीली पेपर उनके निकल जाए और इजीली वो पढ़ ले अच्छे स्कोर्स के साथ?
तो पहला है, आपको बेसिकली डिफरेंशियल कैलकुलस ये सब थोड़ा सा नॉलेज रखना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ यू आर गोइंग इन मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग तो उसमें सारे इंजीनियरिंग ब्रांच में होते हैं मैथ्स 1, मैथ्स 2, मैथ्स 3।
ओके
इसके बाद मैथ्स खत्म हो जाता है उनके लिए।
ओके
इंजीनियरिंग में सिर्फ मैकेनिकल ऐसा ब्रांच है जहां पर मैथ्स 4 भी होता है, लेवल हायर। सो हमें ज्यादा मैथ्स पढ़नी पड़ती है। एंड मैथमेटिक्स इज समथिंग व्हाई इट इज नेसेसरी, इट इज ओनली फॉर कैलकुलेशन पर्पस। सो अगर आपको कुछ भी बनाना है तो आपको पहले कैलकुलेशन करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि वो डिजाइन फेलियर नहीं हो, क्योंकि आपको रॉ मटेरियल जो आप यूज कर रहे हैं वो परफेक्ट क्वांटिटी में रहना चाहिए, आपका डिजाइन सस्टेनेबल होना चाहिए। तो ये सब चीजों करने के लिए डायरेक्टली प्रोटोटाइप करने से पहले अगर आपका डिजाइन आप कर रहे हैं एंड दैट इज परफेक्टली कैलकुलेटेड एंड परफेक्टली वर्कड, तभी वो सक्सेसफुल होगा। तो बेसिकली इंजीनियरिंग इज अ मस्ट, sorry, mathematics is a must for any good engineers, but वो बहुत hard नहीं होता because everything nowadays like is online, so every calculation, every tool are available. But you have to get a basic knowledge.
हम्म चलिए
And
ठीक
sir,
है
one more thing about you, like I just wanted to before we close,
हाँ हाँ
what I am doing is helping people to get up and down by elevator.
हम्म
Maybe I can teach few people like to
हम्म
earn their living. But
हम्म
what you are doing is a very noble cause, because you are training a generation not only like how to go and face the world
हम्म
to get good marks, but how to build a character. So that is very important कि आप सिर्फ पढ़ाई के साथ साथ बच्चों को अलग चीजें भी सिखा रहे हैं कि how to be a good citizen, how to be a good person at all. So this is a very noble cause what you are doing, and you are training a generation. वो हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं, आप जो कर रहे हैं, it's a very noble cause, and we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. And like this is a new series, and we wish you like this should go viral for you.
अब मेरा तो हमेशा से यही बात मानना है मनीष मैंने हमेशा से अपने सभी बच्चों को बोला है सभी लोगों को बोला है मुझे लाइक्स भी नहीं चाहिए मुझे सब्सक्रिप्शन भी नहीं चाहिए मुझे सिर्फ ये चाहना मेरे ये चाहता हूं मैं कि अच्छे लोगों की अच्छी आवाज अच्छे मन में अच्छे बच्चों में जाए जिससे उनका अच्छा फ्यूचर बने
बिल्कुल
वो
बिल्कुल सर.
अच्छा बनाने के लिए अगर हम ये सोचेंगे कि हमें व्यूअरशिप चाहिए या हमें लाइक्स चाहिए सब्सक्राइब चाहिए देखिए फिर हम वो लॉबी में बैठेंगे जिस लॉबी में सिर्फ पैसा गिना जाता है नॉलेज नहीं गिना जाता है जो नॉलेज गिनता है उसके पास पैसा अपने आप आता है
नहीं सर, बिल्कुल इसीलिए हम चाह रहे हैं कि आपका ज्यादा लोग देखें, ज्यादा वायरल हो, क्योंकि लोगों के पास पहुंचेगा, ये आउटरीच बढ़ेगा. आई नो आप मोनेटाइज नहीं कर रहे हो, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली आप जो अच्छे कॉज के लिए कर रहे हो, मोर पीपल शुड लिसन टू योर टेड टॉक्स एंड ऑल. दैट इज अ वेरी गुड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड.
Right.
Wish you all the best.
I'm very thankful and let's hope for the best and we'll meet next time with some another topic and I
Sure,
think
sure.
we can have much more discussion related to these so that every student can understand what is the use of their studies, what is the use of that particular subject, in which type of chapters or topics they need to work hard to get particular field. Definitely.
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much and have a nice
Okay.
day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.